What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And you know, this story right here kind of had me tickled, okay? Once again, we got to talk about the Arrowverse, you know, and the giant disaster that it was. And this guy, Mark Guggenheim, who's like kind of sad because he was left out of the DCU plans, right? And nobody bothered to call him. Like, after the nonsense and the disaster that was the Arrowverse, this dude is upset that nobody called him. Bro, did you see the ratings? Okay, were you paying attention to the ratings? Yeah, I'm pretty sure James Gunn wanted none of that, okay? He wanted no parts of that. No, this stuff, bad ratings every week, all right? And he probably watched a few episodes. He was like that Shannon Sharp meme, just
you would, and you know it.
He's like, no. We're not bringing that in to my stuff. I'm trying to build a universe, bro. We're not doing that over here. It says, Mark Guggenheim feels slightly miffed about not being one of the writers chosen to work on James Gunn's DCU. Look, Mark, let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. If they weren't going to bring in Greg Berlanti, they weren't going to pick you. There's no chance, man. There was no chance. If Greg was the guy that everybody saw associated with the Arrowverse and they didn't even bring him in, why would they bring you in? Just as some kind of writer? Nah, they wasn't doing that, okay? But yeah, let's go ahead and see what old Mark is talking about. This is on CBR.com. Mark Guggenheim, who co-created the CW's Arrowverse with Greg Berlanti, among others, shared that he was disappointed in not being picked by DC studio co-chairs and co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran to help craft the 10-year plan for the new DC universe. In the February 3rd edition of his Legal Dispatch newsletter, Guggenheim explained why he felt gutted to have been completely shut out of the DCU conversation. Not a job, mind you, a meeting. A conversation, a small recognition of what I tried to contribute to the grand tapestry that is the DC universe. What good is that? Like, what? Seriously, what good is that? Who cares about that right now? What did you want, a cookie? Bro, we're trying to get a film universe off the ground, and what you want, a meeting? Get the fuck out of here, okay? If you're not a part of our plans, we don't have time to sit up here and just pat you on the head for a job not so well done, all right? You didn't do a good job with the ratings in the Arrowverse, bro. Them ratings was dropping like hotcakes. Nah, get out of here. What this dude talking? I'd only spent 9 years toiling in that vineyard after all, he wrote. Although working for DC had been creatively fulfilling, it involved a lot of adversity challenges and personal sacrifices, none of which seemed to have accrued any professional benefit. Simply put, the Arrowverse hasn't led to any other gigs, so it feels, at least on a career level, that I really wasted my time. Yeah, you probably did. If you feel like writing something was a waste of your time, it was a waste of your time, okay? Because you personally didn't even get anything out of it yourself. You say basically, yeah, since this thing didn't lead to any other gigs, you know what? I wasted my time, all right? And you wasted the fans' time too. All right. If your heart is not in the work, okay, if you're just doing it for a career benefit, get the fuck out of here. Don't write it. Okay, don't write it. We don't want those kind of writers, okay? We need people that care about the work and are passionate about it. This little comment right here explains everything you need to know about the Arrowverse, okay? Because this guy was in it for his career. He wasn't in it for the fans. He wasn't in it for the work. While Guggenheim, who I think this means who also wrote the screenplay for the 2011 film Green Lantern, ultimately wasn't selected to construct Gunn's DCU. 5 writers with extensive superhero backgrounds were chosen: comic book writer Tom King, Moon Knight showrunner Jeremy Slater, Birds of Prey and Flash screenwriter Christina Hodson, Watchmen writer Crystal Henry, and Daredevil writer Drew Goddard. Yeah, let me stop just real quick just to address these 5 people. Now, I don't know that much about Tom King. I haven't read a lot of his works, and the works that I might have read, they haven't stood out. Okay. So I'm not going to make any negative comments about him. However, this dude, Jeremy Slater, complete hack. All right. This guy is a hack job. Okay. I've already addressed Christina Hodson on a video, which I will link above. Absolute hack job. Okay. Watchmen writer, Crystal Henry. Okay. It feels like a diversity hire. I'm just going to keep it 100%. Feels like a diversity hire. She's going to be working on Waller, okay? Now, Drew Goddard, yeah, Drew Goddard's 100% legit, okay? 100% legit. Obviously created Daredevil, one of the greatest superhero TV shows, if not the greatest superhero TV show of all time, all right? He created Daredevil, Cabin in the Woods. He was the writer of that. I think the director or the writer of that, I'm not sure. He wrote The Martian, okay? If you guys watch The Martian is phenomenal, fantastic. He wrote World War Z, Cloverfield, their first First Cloverfield. So this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. I have a feeling it's going to be Drew Goddard and James Gunn pretty much just handling all the creativity stuff. All right. These other cats are just going to be staff writers, which is fine. You can be a staff writer as long as you're not handling any of the creative flux of this thing. The five, along with Gunn, will serve as the creative architects for the DCU, with Henry confirmed to be writing the upcoming, Waller, she's writing Waller, with Doom Patrol's Jeremy Carver. And y'all saw that he was talking about Sacrifices. This little part right here is on TV Insider. Read this, okay? The project, he's talking about Crisis of Infinite Earths, by the way. A live action adaptation of a seminal comic book series that made a significant impression on my psyche, was more than a labor of love. It was a labor in every respect, and a project where I spent every ounce of capital I'd amassed in developing DC Comics related shows for Warner Brothers over an 8-year period, Guggenheim wrote. I called in every favor. I used every chit. I burned every bridge. I even spent $10,000 of my own money. Why? Why would you do that? It sounds like a personal problem to me, but you can kind of feel the butt hurt right here, right? He's talking about sacrificing 10 G's of his own bread, okay? And you start to ask, well, why would he do that, all right? And I think he thought this was going to be some sort of a career move, okay? After Crisis on Infinite Earths ended in 2020, Guggenheim's phone didn't ring off the hook as he thought it might. He said, yes, and I don't mean to belittle this in the slightest. Fans loved what we did. There were tweets, there were posts, there were memes, there was much discussion, all of which I was and remain deeply grateful for. Working on these shows, we always reminded ourselves that the opposite of love was not hate, it was apathy, and no matter what, there was never any apathy. Well, except for Hollywood. Hollywood met everything we did with apathy. Actually, apathy would have been a step up. Listen, man, nobody was paying attention to this stuff because the ratings were trash. That should have been the thing you should listen to. What are the ratings like? How many people are watching this crap? See right here. This is where this guy went wrong right here, okay? He was listening to tweets, posts, and memes, okay? He wasn't listening to, and I always say, yeah, listen to the fans, okay? You got to listen to the fans. But he wasn't looking at the viewership numbers. The viewership numbers are going to tell you if Hollywood is going to care. You say, well, Hollywood was apathetic. Yeah, they were apathetic because your viewership was trash. It's like, nah, man, this thing ain't doing nothing. Okay, all of this crap could be from the same 10 people just posting over and over and over again. It doesn't mean anybody's watching this. And by evidence of the viewership numbers, nobody was watching it. So yeah, they could just easily forget about your stuff. See, this guy's, it's hilarious. This guy sounded like he has a lot of regrets right now. And the thing about it is, as I said earlier, if you're true to yourself, right? If this was a labor of love, as he likes to call it, then you wouldn't have any regrets. You wouldn't regret anything, okay? So that's why you always got to be true to yourself, to your creativity. If you're a writer or you're some sort of creative, you got to be true. That way you won't regret anything. And you got to always remember that your work goes before you. So all of this stuff that you were putting in for these jokers right here to get all of the tweets and the posts and the memes did you no good. Okay. You got to write work that people want to watch. Okay. Not the handful of knuckleheads that want to watch woke stuff. All right. This is just a handful of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the studios and your bosses look at it. Look, I don't know this guy, okay, but to hear him say all of this stuff, let me just be very, very clear on how I'm reading this, okay? Because I like to read between the lines, okay? The unspoken words that are behind the spoken words, okay? He wasn't with all of this crap. He did this as a career move. He did this, as he said, to accrue a professional benefit, okay? Now, he's not saying this directly, but that's what my take of it is, okay? What's inside his head is that he's expected to get something out of doing all of this nonsense, okay? And it didn't work out. He expected, like, the work that he was doing here, even though he probably wasn't with it all, he was expecting the work that he was doing here to kind of elevate him in jobs down the line. You know what I mean? Give him some more jobs. It's kind of, again, another cautionary tale, okay? Just be true to yourself, okay? Like I just showed you that cautionary tale about Bob Chapek, okay? He had one thing in his head. Oh, no, we're not going to do this. But he went against what he felt, and it cost him, okay? Just like this guy. Now he's sitting there saying, man, damn, I just wasted my time. Like maybe he was listening to too many executives. I don't know. Maybe he was listening to the woke idiots on Twitter who kept putting all the posts and the memes out there. All right. Maybe he was listening to them. And it sounds like he sold his soul and maybe even a little bit of his creativity. All right. His creative integrity in order for him to get future jobs down the line. I guarantee you he's like a lot of other writers in Hollywood. Okay. Because I've been told this myself, just as a writer. Hey, you want to sell books? You want to sell material? Just write LGBTQ material, okay? And promote it and market it as such, all right? And you're in like Flynn. You'll be fine, all right? That's what this guy was probably told, or maybe in his head, he figured it out. He saw the way the winds were moving on Twitter, and he decided to jump in with both feet. Didn't work out. Sorry, bud. All right. And now James Gunn's like, we ain't touching this dude. Why? Okay. We associate us with the Arrowverse. Man, people hate the Arrowverse. Look what the ratings look like. I'm already starting this cinematic universe on a bad note by not bringing in Henry Cavill. Okay. Why would I add fuel to that fire by bringing in anybody from the Arrowverse? I'm avoiding the Arrowverse like the plague. Now, them other guys ain't that much better. But nevertheless, he definitely ain't gonna talk to y'all. Y'all were trash down the line. What is this guy talking about? That's why if you're really not about all of this crap, you just gotta leave it behind. Stick with your creative integrity, all right? You know, this other stuff is fleeting like the wind, okay? It's all on Twitter. It's hot now. Everybody's talking about it now. This stuff is gonna go by the wayside in years to come. Nobody's going to stick with this stuff. But I have a feeling like this guy stuck with it too long, okay? He was there at the beginning doing good work. I think the first couple of seasons of Arrow and Flash were fine, okay? Solid, decent, good material, okay? Even the first season of Legends of Tomorrow, that was okay. But once you got past season 3, 4, and you're done, like, I already had checked out. Okay. And this guy should have checked out too. Okay. Because it was obvious that it was starting to lean more to the woke mob. Okay. As soon as the woke mob steps in, they hired somebody to come in there. Okay. We got to put more of this and that. We got to have diversity and representation. Get out. In the words of Jordan Peele, get out. All right. I would have saw that stuff. Oh, whoa, man, this stuff. Hey, exit stage left. You got to get up out of here, bro. Okay. At that point, it's done. All right. You put your stamp on your good work that you did for the first couple of seasons and stuff. Oh, yeah, all of that is me. All of that other stuff, don't put me associated with that at all, okay? I had nothing to do with that, all right? I was an executive producer. I didn't write one episode. I was out of there, all right? That's how you got to be. Otherwise, you're going to end up like this dude. 9 years down the drain of his career and 10 G's out of his pocket. And that's all he got out of this. Anyway, folks, what do you think about this situation? This dude sounds butthurt, mad, with a whole lot of regrets, okay? That's, again, how I'm reading it, but I could be wrong. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and your opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.